Good morning, everybody. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I see we've got people from all over the world, from England and Spain and India and Africa and all over. So just want to talk to you guys for about 10 to maybe 15 minutes maximum today about how we can create some pathways and how we can get to where we want to go. This is the virtual learning community with coaches across continents, and it is Webinar Wednesday. This year, we are going to make sure that all of our webinars, hopefully, fall on a Wednesday. That way it's a bit easier for everyone to remember. Next one's actually coming up in about 2 weeks. But today we're going to be talking about creating pathways and how we can improve our partnerships. CAC, Coaches Across Continents, is a process consultancy resource. And what that means is we can help you develop both on-field, we can help you develop organizationally, so that you can get to where you want to go. I see people are just still joining. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the talking today, and joining me in the chat box will be Adam Burgess. He's also going to be sending in certain types on the right chat box there. So as I'm talking, you will get information as well from him on various resources. It is Webinar Wednesday, and today we're going to talk about both individuals and organizations. So it doesn't matter if you're the head of an organization or you're an individual coach. But what we want to do is how we can design our partnership pathway with you. That might mean you're a community impact coach or you're an on-field coach, and we can help you individually get better, or as an organization, how can we utilize our strengths together to get to where we want to go. And you've already heard me say this a couple of times. One of my favorite quotes, it's a famous baseball player and then manager in the United States, Yogi Berra. If you don't know where you're going to end up someplace else. And so I think it's important to take stock of where you are and where you want to go. And this is the first step in creating a pathway. And so you might be just starting out. You might be working with a very small number in the community and you want to grow nationwide. Or perhaps you are only working with kids a little bit with sport and you want to be able to go much, much deeper in terms of impacting your community. And it doesn't matter if you want to get bigger or broader or work more closely with individuals. If you want to create public policy, we want to know where do you see yourself in the future. It could be working with the national organization. It could be running in a school. And then what we want to do and what we see our partnerships able to do is to create a pathway to help you get there. Again, both as an individual or as an organization. And I think this is the strength of Coaches Across Continents. And ultimately what we're looking to do is to create a legacy. And what that means in terms of creating legacy is in 5 years or in 10 years when we both look back, what sort of change has occurred and what sort of sustainable change is still occurring. So our partnerships, every single one of the partnerships, and I see quite a few people on from all over the world, is going to be different. And so we need to have conversations with each one of you as to what is your individual goals. We know that each organization is structured a little bit differently. We've got some groups that operate across 5 or 6 countries, and we've got other organizations that are very small. As an individual, you might be widely traveled. You might be working with a large group, or you might just have a team of 10 or 12 kids that you're working with every day. So therefore, each time we create a pathway, we need to make sure that it's unique to that partnership. What we want to do is what we call design, develop, and implement. CAC, I mentioned already, is a process consultancy organization. And that means we can help you get to where you want to go. And we do that by design, developing, and implementing. And it's basically laying out a roadmap of this is where we are today, and this is where we want to get to. And so to get there, you need to figure out what will help you get there. Is it potentially more methodology training? Is it training in monitoring and evaluation? Is it learning more games? Is it getting an opportunity to experience different cultures? So these are all things that we can do through various strategic resources to help you get to where you want to go. And then ultimately we want to have it be a sustainable social change. And that's how we define legacy. So what are we going to do that ultimately in 5 years or in 10 years or in 1 year has made a marked difference both for you, your organization, as well as the community or communities that you're serving. So what we're going to talk about today is very general about what we can provide, what Coaches Across Continents has as an organization that might help you get there. And this is where Adam's going to start typing into the chat box. He'll pop up from time and again, so you guys can take notes on the right or ask questions of Adam. But we're going to share with you quite a few different resources that you can use, both as an individual or as an organization, to help improve your delivery. First off, most everyone I think is aware of what we call our Hat Trick Initiative, and this is our 3-year partnership. And currently there's 3 different partnerships. There's our Chance to Choice pathway, we have our Ask for Choice pathway, and this is our Bringing Gender Policy to Life that we launched last year that many of you already know about. And then this year we've started something called the Technology Partnership, which is for communities that get all of our strategic resources, except we're not able to work with them on field. So we actually have some partners across the world that are already utilizing this, and we see that being more in the future. Every single pathway, it doesn't matter which one you take, is free to use all of our strategic resources. I mentioned Ask for Choice. This is our new female empowerment curriculum, and we'll help you through our games and through our discussions to start to be able to develop women's rights policy, girls' rights policy, and even policies for equity within your communities and your government. Chance to Choice, this is the one that we've been doing now for 9 or 10 years. Has 6 main modules of conflict prevention, female empowerment, health and wellness, child rights, life skills, and fun. And we really stress self-directed learning so that people can solve their own problems in their community. And finally, I mentioned our technology partnership. Super excited to have started that this year. And we're working with organizations in the Congo, Liberia, and Pakistan, and they work quite heavily with Marcus Bench and our technology team. And this is what we see as the future, being able to learn through technology resources year-round. I've mentioned a few times our strategic resources. These are the primary strategic resources for our community partners, both for individuals and for organizations, whether you're running a school or an NGO or a government. We have all of these strategic resources, and we'd hate for people to think that it was just the on-field training for 1 week you see a CAC. We've found that the best legacies, the best pathways are organizations where various individuals or various people take advantage of as much as possible. And so we'll just go through these a little quick. The first one, as you saw there, was our on-field training. Excuse me. Typically, this is about 1 week per community, and you'll get communication with our self-directed learning coaches, and they will discuss with you how we set it up, how we invite the proper people in your community, and all of the logistics. So that is actually going to be our next webinar on April 12th for those of you that are with community partners. But on-field training, we go through our curriculum and especially our methodology and how you can act as a coach to create self-directed learning and how you can create social change through sport while doing sporting activities. This is definitely one of the sort of the hallmarks of Coaches Across Continents, or on-field training. But as I mentioned, it's not the end-all be-all. Another big component is our monthly curriculum and our monitoring evaluation. So the monthly curriculum, now everyone would have received last month or maybe just over an International Women's Day Games packet. And in past years, you might remember a packet for World AIDS Day or a packet for Peace Day on September 21st. This year, we're going to do it for every single month. So the one that's coming out now is based on the environment. But each month we're going to have a packet of games specific to a topic of the month. And in addition, we're also going to send you a very quick email to organizations only that we really encourage you to fill out. It can be done straight through the email, and it will be very, very simple, I promise, with a couple yes/no type questions and a couple open-ended questions. but this is going to help us improve our partnership and our delivery, and likewise learn from you. So we'll be able to say, you'll be able to request certain things in there. And this is going to improve the needs analysis and how we design the pathway. As I mentioned, every single partnership is different, but if we don't hear from you, it makes it very difficult for us to guess what is the best thing. Virtual Learning Community, this is what we're on right now. So Virtual Learning Community is a series of Wednesday webinars now. And we're going to do these both on organizational development and sport for development topics. Hopefully we'll have some guest speakers. We're trying to line up an expert in the field of research and monitoring and evaluation out of England. So hopefully that will happen later this year. It's a great opportunity. You can already see, the 24 or so people in the chat box, to see other people around the world that are doing the same thing as you. And then this year, we're also going to start delivering these webinars in both English, and then the next day, we'll be delivering them in Spanish. So it does not matter if you're a native English speaker, native Spanish speaker. Hopefully that will allow us to continue to grow and serve you guys. And then if you miss it, or you want to share this with other people in your organization or in your community or fellow coaches, all of these webinars are available on our YouTube channel. A lot of you have taken advantage of what's called our Community Impact Coach program. And this is something where we bring sort of the best and brightest and most committed, especially local coaches, and we'll facilitate your travel with the CAC team to other communities around the world. So we've brought people both domestically to other communities within their country, and we've also brought people internationally. We've brought coaches from Tanzania down to South Africa. We've brought coaches from one country to another in South America, likewise in Asia. And this is a tremendous individual opportunity. But most of all, I think for organizations as well, it's an opportunity to share best practices with other NGOs that may have a similar background. So if you're the head of an organization listening right now, maybe you can think of who is your best 1 or 2 coaches that are really involved with your program that would benefit from this experience, both on a personal level, but would also be able to come back and share those experiences and that learning with the rest of your organization. And we can try and facilitate quite a bit. I think every year we have about 30 to 40 coaches participate on this. And as Adam has typed there on the right, you can see the deadline. It's open. And if you just email Charlie at coachesacrosscontinents.org, you can get the application form and you can learn a little bit more about it. In addition to that, we've got the online education program, which many of you I know are also either have heard about or are participating in. There in the picture is Marcus Bench. He is leading up our technology team and our online education program. And this is a course that runs, we've actually just started. And it's a course where we log you into what's called Sports Session Planner. And you're able to create your own sport for development games. And Marcus, over the course of 9 months, guides you through how to learn the technology, but then how can we start creating games specific to your communities. So very similar to what we try and do a little bit on field towards the end of partnerships. Marcus is able to do that. One of the big selling points as well is now we've got a library of hundreds and hundreds of games that you can share with other people. So we've had participants create games in specific to their community, but then they're able to be shared across the CAC network. But it is a pretty intense program. You can see it is roughly about 160 hours over 9 months, so it's about 5, maybe 10 hours per week, some weeks. So it is a big commitment, but last year we had graduates from 12 different countries. We want to work with you guys on policy creation. This is something that we've really started stressing in the last year or 2 years. Some of you have had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Judith, who I know is on the call today, but we really try and now stress living women's rights and child rights policies. And these are policies, we don't want you to copy them from Coaches Across Continents or from an organization you find on the website. What we really want is to create a policy that makes sense for your community that can be implemented. And what that means is gathering a lot of the various stakeholders, the leaders of the community, the children of the community, the grandparents of the community, and setting in place a women's and child rights policy that protects and gives equality to all groups, but also that is implemented. We don't want this just to go in a filing cabinet somewhere, but really guide you through the process of how you can create a women's rights and child rights policies. And we have, Adam's put up the YouTube link there. You can actually find our past webinars on how to create some of these policies. And it's also something that our SDL coaches and us individually can do with you. If you reach out and say, hey, we really want to create our own child rights policy, we want to help you through that. You're certainly not alone in this. And we might be able to get a small working group of people together, other organizations that can do it. But in a sense, we want you to come up with your policies, and we're there to help you design them. Joint funding, and actually that picture there is two of our community impact coaches, Fatma from Tanzania and Jamie from Scotland. Actually took that picture in India. But joint funding opportunities, this is something we've done a bit more in the past 2 or 3 years, and we've had success with various programs, both with small grants from grants or foundations, $5,000 or $10,000, that we can develop a project or a partnership. We did one with technology with a group in South Africa where both groups benefited. We can also look to apply for larger grants from governments, from UNICEF, from things like that. The biggest thing and the first thing is the third point there. First, need to have an idea of who we're going to approach and what the rules are. This is something that Adam and Jordan and I do quite extensively to come up with what's a project we can do together, but also who are we going to ask for potential money from. But this is something that CAC has become an expert in preparing all the necessary documents and application time. And what it means is a lot of communication with our sustainability team, Jordan or Adam or myself, to prepare these things. There are definite deadlines. We've actually just completed about 3 or 4 applications that were due about a week or 2 ago now, that we submitted with 3 of our partners. We've got another group you may have heard, some small grants that have come out, and this is something that we are looking to do. So if you have an idea for your community, or you have an idea of someone that we might be able to approach to help your organization, that's something that we can help with. Awards, conferences, and networking. This is something you can actually see a couple of our coaches there on the dais, that we have done about 8 to 10 different presentations globally every year. Nora spoke in Botswana last year, and I spoke in Peru, and we've had different presentations, but also awards. Very, very pleased and happy, just to name a few, that some of our partnerships and some of our partners are being recognized for some incredible awards. Slum Soccer being named, receiving the FIFA for Diversity Award. Goals Haiti receiving a Beyond Sport Award last year. And there's literally dozens of groups each and every year that are either finalists for awards or winners of awards across the world. So if there's an award that you'd like to apply for, certainly we can act as a reference for anything. And we also have a very active global network. We talk quite frequently with Street Football World, Women Win, Beyond Sport, FIFA, et cetera, et cetera. The next big one, this is in 2 weeks from now, and you may have received or heard some information either from coaches across continents or Beyond Sport directly, is the Beyond Sport Awards. And these are some major awards. There are some prize money for some of the categories if you are selected as the winner of these awards, but they're also very competitive. But the Beyond Sport Awards, Adam's put down there, deadline is April 12th. And that's the next big major award. And we'll certainly let you know as these continue on. The last thing, sort of other opportunities, and this is the almost last slide. Any other thing that you want help with, we can do with you. So if you have this idea about how you can get better in sport for development or to create a legacy in your community and to create social impact, we want to hear about it. We want to connect you with other organizations around the world. Maybe we're a network. We're certainly welcome to speak to the leaders in your country, whether that's the Minister of Education or people within your community. We certainly have tried, and we still need a sponsor for this with equipment across continents, being able to get equipment to various people. I guess the sort of stopping there a little bit, because we have done quite a bit of I've done quite a bit of talking, is now it's up to you guys a little bit, both as individuals and as communities. So how can we, right, get together and talk over the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, either with one of our SDL coaches or with myself or Jordan or Adam, so that we can say, these are the strategic resources we want to engage in, and this is what we need help in, and that's how we're going to build the pathway together. I think that's the point of this whole last 15 to 20 minute discussion, is we want to communicate basically every 3 or 4 weeks with your organization or with you individually. We want to try and come up with a roadmap, a pathway of which strategic resources could help you, and then how we can move forward with them so that you're able to, either we can connect you with other CAC partners, with other organizations, or how you can use our strategic resources to get to where you want to go. Back to the first quote with Yogi Berra, if you don't know where you're going, you might not wind up there. And ultimately, we have to know where we want to go, what sort of an impact we're looking to have. And then that's really where CAC is going to be able to excel. So I know I've just talked for quite extensively there. This was designed to be a sort of an informative webinar right now. And I know Marcus has engaged a couple people on the side, that there is people that are already engaged in the online education program. Those webinars will be, I believe the next one, Marcus, is next week, I think, but the people that are enrolled in that course will be dealing with a webinar strictly for the online education program. The next general webinar that we're going to have will be hosted by Jordan and Charlie, and that will be on our on-field training. And that is going to be something that I believe it's 2 weeks from today, which I believe is April 12th off the top of my head. So 2 Wednesdays from now, we're going to be hosting one, and this is primarily for organizations that are hosting on-field training. What can we do? So question that's coming in from Zach there. I think the contact person, and Adam is going to type in a couple emails onto the right there. So first and foremost, if you have any questions at any point, you can just type to info@coachesacrosscontinents.org. Likewise, if you know someone personally within our organization, whether it's myself or Nora or Emily or Adam or Jordan or Charlie or Mark or Marcus, then please just type directly to them and we'll get you connected. But Zach, to answer your question, Emily@coachesacrosscontinents.org handles. She's our monitoring and evaluation strategist. Pedro, to answer your question, yes, I don't have them on the top of my head. I know that this month, Earth Day is coming up later this month, so this one is on the environment. But we're gonna have different packets each month on different topics. If you have a suggestion, Pedro, we would certainly love to hear it. We would definitely, if you have an idea of, hey, we would love some games on this topic, we'll see if we can put that together. So again, want to make sure that everyone's aware, this is very much an open relationship, and we want people to communicate with us. And where you think you might need help, I think that we can help you get there, whether it's through our resources or connecting you with other people. We would love to be able to work more and develop individual and partnership pathways with you to help you create change in your community. That's our role at CAC. If anyone has any other questions, I'll hang on for another minute or so, but definitely want to say thank you to everybody. This webinar will be available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel in the next, hopefully by the weekend, but the next 1 or 2 days probably, if you want to share it with other people. But definitely want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Next week, April 12th, will be on how do we set up the on-field training so that it's a success, and then after that we'll have quite a few more. So So Jorge, to answer your question, if you need help creating a pathway to contact directly, you can contact anyone at Coaches Across Continents that you might know. But if you don't know, then you can always write to info@coachesacrosscontinents.org. And then my email is brian@coachesacrosscontinents.org. So feel free to email me, and we will get you in touch with the right people to create that. So thank you so much, and we will be in touch with everyone. Have a great Wednesday and a fantastic start to the next month. Thank you so much, everybody.